All right, trade pros, good morning. Hope you guys are having a great Friday. Welcome to our morning market update for this beautiful Friday, June the 12th. My gosh, time flies when you're having fun. All right, what a sell off in the equity market yesterday. It was expected. The team was on board for that sell off. I had a great day between my day trading and options. I almost punched the five-figure ticket. Close. I didn't get it. Whatever, who cares? I'm happy nonetheless. Um, Other than that, though, market's been pretty exciting, pretty opportunistic in yesterday's session. When we first started out on the day, I was saying, hey, we get the 3,000 even. Oh, you guys remember that in the room? I wasn't. Then I was like, nah, that's crazy talk. Let's go 30, 50. I kind of backtracked, but we got 3,003. A pretty big sell-off, almost 130 points in a single session. Well, we rebounded from that yesterday. All right. Markets really wind up and unwind very fast these days. All right. Everything is happening quicker. This kind of sell-off would usually have taken a few days to see. It all happened in one single session. The sell-off and now the rebound overnight. All right. Ugly day on Wall Street. Although futures have rebounded about 2% so far, I think we got kind of a giddy close into the Friday, a little bit of a rebound. So I think the stage is actually open for a rally today. I see an early morning pullback maybe into these 30-30s area and then a continuation to the upside. I think we closed strong this week after negative Thursday. All right, at 8:44 in the morning, NEC Director Larry Kudlow said that the U.S. is not seeing a second wave of the pandemic and the economy will not be shut down over coronavirus. Now, that's it's a pretty strong and bold statement, and that's what's needed right now to sustain this rally, and that's what everyone in the Trump administration and the Federal Reserve want to do. They just want to sustain this market rally. All right, Donald Trump, I mean, it's not a secret. We're not talking anything here that's going to ruffle feathers at this point. Donald Trump has said and tweeted numerous times his performance is pretty much based on what the stock market does. It's important for him going into an election year that we get a rally. All right, Jerome Powell has got so much money, he might as well be listed number one on the Forbes list because he's just printing money. He's downstairs just hand cranking that printer, money just flying everywhere into the U.S. economy. And so all these things are going to support a market. If there was no Fed backing up the market, all right, if there's not an administration specifically focused on the stock market as an evaluations metric, S&P probably trades down to 2,300. But that ain't the case, maybe even lower, all right? So we know that, all right? The Fed is there. The Fed's got its back. Kudlow, what he's saying is there is no second wave. A lot of the worry is that there's a second wave of the coronavirus. That's what's kind of going around. So it's circulated trading desks, and that's what people are afraid of. And so he tweeted this morning. Not tweeted. He was on an interview. He said, hey, no closure due to a second wave of the pandemic. We're not shutting down anything. Don't worry, is basically the message he wanted to say. Houston, though, is looking to reopen its virus hospitals at the stadium, and that's interesting because they're getting an influx of hospitalizations. It's hard to argue with the hardcore raw stats, and if they're getting an increase in hospitalizations and there's too much flow, and we could have a problem. And so Houston, they didn't want to be that corny, but Houston, we have a problem, right? They are getting close to reimposing staying at home orders. And if that happens, it's going to have a fallout in sentiment because if Houston does it, who's next? All right. And it's summertime. This wasn't supposed to happen now. September, October, November, where there was an expectation of second wave. Seems like it's coming a little bit earlier. And I'm going to probably get in trouble for saying this. I don't really care, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that a lot of these protests that are happening at the moment are helping create more cases. It's unfortunate, but I totally believe the cause. The Black Lives Matter movement, all of that. I grew up in a neighborhood where I was pretty much the only white person for like a block of a radius. I'm not saying I understand 100%, but I understand my brothers who have gone through that and what they have gone through, right? So it's a very, very great and noble cause, and I love it. It's just the timing freaking sucks. Right, you're putting yourself in a lot of danger being out there, but This is a two-side thing. It's always polarizing, right? The world's polarizing here, and I know I'm charting on danger ground here. Danger, danger. YouTube's gonna censor me soon, but that's life. All right. So I think that's contributing to it. When you look at, it'd be very interesting to see the numbers of coronavirus in about a week, because that's when protests have been around for almost 2 weeks now, and compare them to states where there haven't been as many protesting, looting, etc. Be very, very interesting. But look out for the second wave. That's what the market cares about. Yesterday, we got a flash of what it looks like when there's a double-sided market. I think in the last few, since March, we've been very complacent to the upside, and I've been waiting for a sell-off. I had some puts on Friday. Friday, to me, was the best moment. We're heading up, great unemployment report. Everyone's happy, high-fiving each other. So it looked like the perfect time to move in and grab some puts. Close them out yesterday, because you know what happens? You get down 100 points, you're looking at a sell-off that should have taken a few days. It happens in one day. You got to get paid. All right. I took half off, then I scratched my head and took the other half off. I got some limits above to get back in. All right. So here's what I think for the day. A lot of yapping, a lot of fun. But in Asia, Japan's down 0.7%. Hong Kong down the same. China flat. India up 0.7. In Europe, at midday, equity markets up about 1 percentage point. The U.S. up stronger than that. All right, Dow's up 2.3, S&P's up 2.2%, Nasdaq up 1.7. Strong gains in the U.S. equities complex. Crude oil is down 0.5%. Gold's flat. Bitcoin's down 3.3. All right, and this morning at 10 a.m. we have consumer sentiment. It's going to be very important, and it's Friday, so at 1 p.m. we have Baker Hughes rig count. All right, and that's also something very important coming out today for oil traders. Other than that, I think we continue to rally today. I wouldn't be surprised if we go to reclaim the 3,100, believe it or not, as crazy as it sounds. Look for a little bit of downside early on in the morning, and we get down to the 35s, 40s. There's a huge wall of support down there. We could build up a little bit of bias to the upside. But I got to tell you, with a big day like yesterday on the sell side, I think today we're going to try a little bit of downside in the morning. Everyone on Robinhood has probably put their limit orders in and they're long. And so we're going to have to fade that temporarily in the morning. And if it doesn't work, then we get long too. All right. Love you guys. Be safe. Have a great rest of your weekend. And just please be safe out there, no matter what you do. All right. Just know this. I believe one thing. I believe we're all equal. No one's above anyone else. And we're here to be with one another, to help each other. All right. That's all I want to see. All I want to see you guys is win. When you share these stories on YouTube of how you're making progress for you and your family and our trading room, it warms my heart, I got to tell you. But at the same time, you got to do the work. What does it say? Do the work, get paid. So let's do that today. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you on Monday. Ciao. Over now. Hit the wrong button. Steven, over to you. Lee goes, that's it. You're in trouble. Oh, really curious to know what Johnny put in here because he deleted it. Maybe I got in trouble. Just kidding, Johnny. You're a good dude. All right, guys. You guys have a good weekend on YouTube. Love you all deeply and immensely. Be kind to each other. Be good. Be safe. See you on Monday. Ciao. Steven,